All right, and welcome back to part 2 here of this battle in the wilderness. So far, we're holding. I mean, that's kind of the story. We have the 10 point. We have, what is this, a 5 point, I think, and another 5 points. So we get 20 points. They got 3 points up here. Yeah, we're kind of routed on the left. We'll see how much they're able to move around on the left. We're trying to stockpile a bunch of artillery. Right now, we have 3 batteries, and we have, we can just go ahead and play. We don't need all this stuff stalled. But we have Loomis and we have Woodall also adding their guns to this mix so that maybe this will be a tough section to crack here. But for now, we're holding the main crossroads, the Orange Plank Road. If we lose the Orange Plank Road, we're losing on victory points and we'll probably have to attack because that is worth as much as those two combined, plus that 3-pointer. So for now, we're holding up. I think the idea was to get Moral. I think he's actually supposed to be moving into reserve. I thought that was the plan, but it's almost 6 p.m. here. And so while these are some of the longer days of the year, we should be doing all right. All right, let's clear this out. Yeah, Cooker has arrived, so that's nice. Last time Palmer arrived and then abruptly left, so that was, and yet somehow he's still here. I have no idea how that's possible. But the idea, I think, is going to be to move up and secure whatever we can get here. So Cook is there, Grant is there. Apparently Palmer is actually on the battlefield, but his corps is fled. So, yeah, it makes close to 0 sense, but that's all right. And for right now, it seems like the push over here, I think this is Burnside and Richardson. They're the ones that are mostly engaged now. For Davies and for Howard, I think it's been, yeah, it has been very light. And for Davies, it's been comparatively light. To, I think Richardson is probably the, yeah, he's been the most hotly engaged. Palmer is once again withdrawn. It's worth noting that earlier when he entered, I think he entered up here? Somewhere up here. Somewhere a little ways away, and then abruptly left. So, yet again, Palmer's not with us, but we're not really expecting very much from him right now. So, we'll continue fighting into the wee hours here. And I'm thinking maybe we start moving Hooker back. And he can move in. Yeah, because Cook is his. So we'll see if he can kind of leapfrog forward anyone who is back here. I don't think these units actually even need Grant. And so we might be able to move Grant back and help them bubble forward. I think we'd move them along the Brock Road. And probably use, maybe use the tree line up to the unfinished railroad and solidify things there. And then we would be ready for day 2. On the casualty count, let's see how we're doing. So we've inflicted about 2 to 1 somehow. Looks like we're taking some arty over here. And we got skirmishers out here. Covering that movement. So we're going to move it up to 2x and just see what we get. Some really, really competent brigades there for Richardson's division, and Burnside is honestly pretty lucky to have. As infantry brigades go, those are pretty crack units. We'll see if they are in need of a perk. I guess we'll have to continue balancing things there on the perk side, because a unit that's got 3, 4, or a brigade that's got 3 or 4 stars of experience should have a perk at this point. see if they'll rally. We'll see if they'll rally. Okay, we'll move Cook over here. Not sure what the CSA can do at this point. I think they gotta mostly focus on this point here. Posey's about to take casualties, and Breakthrough lost resilience, and so he won't be back once he takes those casualties. Shoot the one on that horse. That is the first time. I've heard a lot of sayings repeated over and over, but that is the first time I've heard shoot the one on the horse. All right, so Morrell is back. Honestly, Willage could probably move even further back. Jackson can move up. Greg is taking a pounding, but overall, I think we're in pretty good shape. And we'll bump it up to 2x to see if the CSA wants to change things around. Yeah, we'll just have to see. I don't know. I'm wondering if they'll rethink this battle at the end of this day, but it's really for them to call. And since I think we're going to be able to get most of this force up, maybe we'll... So... Brigadier General P. Regis D. Trobriand. Yeah, it's easy to say. We're going to move him up first. I think we move some of this artillery, or at least start moving some of this artillery. It's not a pressing issue, but we'll move. Yeah, we'll move some of it. Let's move them there. No, we're going to move them there. And we'll move them there. And, yeah, we'll move them there. Just see what that's like. Roberts is... That was just very, yeah, very unlucky. Okay, we can move Hooker there. We can move Hobson. I guess we'll move him first. Cox withdrawn. Alright. Move him there. Move him it's a substantial push over here. We'll move Butterfield into reserve, and I think that'll mostly cut off the threat on the left. What is this? Rice? Oh, jeez. So I guess the artillery can see through here. Who knew? Still needs to retreat. I don't know what he's doing up there. Okay, Hyde is here. We're gonna draw Hyde back. No. We'll draw Hyde back here. And we'll put Trabient over on the left here of Cook. And we'll wait for the CSA to make a move. Seems like they want to make a move on this Brock Road. I think we can move Morrill over to here in case we have to respond to that quickly. We'll bring Loomis over here. Alright, and we'll advance this division, Hobson's division up there. Warren's division, we're going to move over here as well. Butler's, I'm not sure we gave orders, but we'll have them move back here. It's getting late, but nobody wants to reset here. I guess we're not going to call it an evening. Guessing Wood is probably engaged. Yeah. Pulled a little bit further ahead here. The CSA, they're making a good move though. We'll see if it pays off. Okay, I don't think we need Trabient up here. And we'll move Cav over to here. And as far as Minty goes, I think we can be safe in moving Minty over here. Alright, so we're going to have Morrill or Morrell move over to here. Can have Willage fall down here or fall back here. All right, and that is the end of the day. Did we freeze? I guess we'll find out. Doesn't look like it. King arrives and Mansfield arrives. All right, so that should solidify things for us. We have 32 engineering points. I'm gonna take a moment here to reset, and then I'll bring you back once I've done that. All right, and this is what it looks like going into day 2. I don't know, maybe we should keep that cab a little bit closer together, but this is the general idea. We've built a bunch of level 1. There's a little bit of, I think there are a few level 2 parapets up here. They've been slightly improved, but not by much. Looks like we're gonna start at 5 a.m. So we're gonna go ahead and get started, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Can we wheel here? Is that... See if any of this is actually true. Move Hooker up to here. Yeah, Hooker is generally in a defensive stance. I think we do the same for Mansfield, for King. Grant should be already when we get down to him. And he is, and so the subordinate commands should take that. We'll push some cav up here on the left, just to make them defend it. And we'll push, even though they're on defend, we'll push some divisions up here so that they have to respond to it. And we'll do the same on the right, sending cav up and around. Howard's up there, Burnside's in reserve. There are others still further back. But it looks like the center of battle is here, so let's go ahead and join that and see what we get as we rock our 14 frames per second. Looks like we've mostly jumped into our level 1 parapets. I'm surprised my arty can see anything, but they can see at least at short distances, and I guess they're pummeling the CSA as they see them. And on the top line, we are ahead and pulling further ahead. That's always good stuff. This time we have several reserve brigades and reserve divisions, almost reserve corps. Not quite sure how they're gonna manage. Probably want them up. But yeah, lots of reserves, lots of parts of the line unengaged. It seems the center of battle is over here. Sherman's got to move up there. They've already been given orders to move up. Didn't detach that battery when I should have. Oh well. I think it's going to get crammed, but we could send more troops into the area we're watching here as reinforcements, but we have quite a few already. I saw the casualties in the overall numbers, or the overall state of the battle. I did not check overall numbers. It says we have 177,000 to 72,000. I don't recall. Maybe those were the final numbers when we entered this battle, but I didn't think it was going to be that lopsided. Since everybody under Hooker, Palmer, yeah, came in and left. So, all right. So I'm thinking partly as a test to see how the AI does this, but also, you know, partially because I think the numbers warrant it. We're going to move folks over to the attack. See how that goes. And while that order trickles through, take a look at the fighting here. Was it Carlton? I can't say that I know who Carlton is. Just unlucky, I guess. Gordon's being moved up. Carlin, Emery. We'll give a few minutes and I guess our kind of real time to let those things play through. But I think after that we'll probably move folks to assault. Alright, we're about to get the unfinished railroad over there. You see the CSA has a very tight formation over there. And we're working on getting our calves spread out behind them. It's a kind of anvil as we send the hammer of the infantry forward momentarily. Getting lit up. That happens when one brigade pushes up unsupported. They look like they're about to rout another brigade in the bag, and And it looks like this battle is just about over. So seeing that, we're going to tell Hooker to go with the assault. Well, that's perfect timing. But we'll still try to assault out. I don't know. We might be able to mop up a little bit of that pocket. I don't think we have the surround yet on that pocket, but we'll see. We'll play it at least 2x here since the AI has already made a decision to withdraw. I think there's more potential over here, but it might be harder. So we'll see how the AI on both sides does. This pocket over here, we can see that's getting rolled up. Yeah, there's hardly anything left on the right or the left. Looks like they're in full retreat, so we're gonna go ahead and move it up to 20x. I don't have any new orders to give it in terms of the AI CSA kind of screwing that up. I'm not worried about it, and I'll bring it back in, I guess, when we got some newspaper reports. All right, let's see what those numbers look like. So for the CSA, it's 25. So for sure, 4,600 not coming back. For us, it's 2,000 killed and some measure that won't return. So maybe 3,000 or so out for us. So it's still a net gain of 1,500. And wow, we pushed their national support down to 39. That's very nicely done for us. Unfortunately, Grant is almost down in the red. Smith still looks good. Cook is also in rough shape. Just very rough shape. I mean, I could move Mansfield. Is it Mansfield, King, and Hayes into scouting, but they wouldn't be able to support each other as quickly. But we'd also get all their readiness back a little bit faster. That's an option. Okay, so we have these fleets out here that are blockading. But pretty much the two theaters of action are Virginia and Tennessee. This was an episode or two ago that we were over here and we won, but it's been quiet since then. It's been quiet of our own accord. We're trying to regain some readiness, and you can see it's McClellan's First Corps and Newton's, there we go, Newton's First Corps that both need their readiness, but other forces, let's see. Yeah, other forces generally look like they're ready to go. This First Corps, pretty close to the green. These corps were chased out of, geez, I think Georgia and South Carolina. I'm pretty sure that's where that started several episodes ago, and they are back. This second corps is ready to, well, it's getting ready to move. Kelly has got a fat corps. It's called the West Virginia Militia, but it's basically a corps. They're going to be a while, but when they are around. Gibbons Third Corps, kind of a similar story, very large. My goodness, we get no rest over here in the east. So 30 minutes in, and it starts off pretty even. Basically, Ewell's Corps is as large as the First Corps. All right, so that's the Army of New England. I think that was Smith. And then 6 hours later, we get another First Corps. So if we get a position we can hold, I hope we can hold for 6 hours. If we have to attack, hopefully we can bide our time and we can wait till we got about a 2-to-1 advantage, then we'll go ahead and attack. But we'll see what the map gives us here in just a moment. And what do we have? All right, so we have rolled yet again the wilderness. Man, this looks a lot like the battle we just left, but it's 28 instead of 23. And so it's hold the Wilderness Tavern or all these points down here. Let's see where the CSA is likely to come in. So not to our south, but to our southwest. So in the southwest, what roads did they have? They had the orange plank road. That looks like it's probably the best. And that would carry them up to the Widow Tap. And from there, it's pretty much the last battle. Wilderness Tavern should be relatively defensible in the sense that there's some open... There's some open ground there, but it's not terrific ground to defend on. But we have 22 engineering points, so we could improve it. I need to mull this over. I'm not going to waste your time doing it. I'll bring you back in when I've made some decisions. All right, and what we've settled on here, I don't really like hedging because I feel like it spreads you out too much, but it's what I've done in this case anyways. The stronger defense is over here. I feel like the natural defense on the Wilderness Tavern is pretty good. We stuck some artillery out here because, you know, it has opportunities in the openings to knock folks down. But the shortest distance from this entry point looks like it's going to be these. And I missed this 5-pointer back here. It's a relatively minor point. But that's what we're going to focus on. We're playing the delay game here. Let's go ahead and start it. But yeah, I want to try to hold this 10-pointer. If we hold this 10-pointer for a while, that's fine as well. But we're going to rely on some scouting. Try to find where they are. And then shift divisions to meet the threat. So, and if they attack evenly, we may actually just move Miller over to support here. Because with that artillery and that terrain, if it's an even fight, I think those 6 brigades have a pretty good chance. And over here we have... Probably should move the artillery back and then move the infantry in. So we have 6 brigades in parapets, and we have Van Cleve, who I know is at the Battle of Chickamauga. Yeah, we have him in reserve. So I think that's good enough for now. I'll bring you back when we have some action to show you. All right, so the CSA is closing in. They had some cav drive through here. They had some infantry, as you can see, drive through here. The response was to bring Neil back after his scouting mission was done. I'm going to send him over here to the right to just make sure they're not trying to cheaply get this 10-pointer. We've moved Miller's 3rd Division over here to the Brock Road. Well, we can see that Reed is over here, but really Reed can continue moving on further left. We withdrew the artillery over here since I don't really have anything to protect it other than that one cav brigade, but that doesn't feel like too much at the moment. So we're going to move them back. Carroll's 2nd Division is kind of playing the role of reserve division, though I think their place is going to be here. And so from here, once they get in position, they should be able to either flex to this group or flex to fill in the gap here in the Brock Road, or flex back on these paths over here to defend the 5-pointer, at least until reinforcements arrive. So that's the general plan. Let's see, we got Palmer back. And we got Smith. We'll get them behind lines, mostly for role-playing reasons and a little bit of, slightly improved stuff. Unfinished Railroad is fine. It's 3 points. We still have 25. We still have 30. So that's fine for us. We also have the entrenchments. And, we'll see. I mean, the CSA could be wily here, but I think time is on our side since we're going to get more in the way of reinforcements, and we should get them fairly quickly compared to the CSA. All right, so they're moving down this road. Now they seem to be changing their mind. I don't know. We'll see. They're leading with their artillery, which is never a good sign for the side that's doing it. Don't know how much this will matter, but we're going to throw out skirmishers from the 2 divisions who are in place. Hopefully these brigades that are moving in front of the line are going to be able to do so without much penalty. And yeah, seeing them concentrate there makes me think we can probably reconcentrate our artillery over here and help out as much as possible with that plink plink. And our cav not finding anything out here. Should feel safe to move back here. We can play them maybe as a backline sweeper and just flex between that 10 and then this 5. Maybe that 10 as well, but as long as we control those lines of movement, I think we'll be in decent shape. Okay, those skirms. So they moved all the way through the forest and out of it. That's not good. Alright, they don't have skirms out yet. Alright, you're going to move your division into reserve. That's fine. They didn't throw out any skirmishers. Over here, they reported they did. Woodson is... Oh, Woodbury has broken for reasons known only to him. Alright, Miles is going to end up there, and maybe that's where we leave Miles. I don't love the idea of leaving forces so far out there without anything to do, but there might be some merit in trying to guard those approaches. I don't think so, because the artillery is not enough to stop them. I don't even think one battery would stop one brigade. So I don't know that that's going to help too much, but it might help with spotting. But if it looks like pretty much everything is up here and they're not going for a flank, then we'll go ahead and pull that battery up. Maybe we'll move Miles' battery up there since it seems like we know that they're back here for reasons we should not know, but it's just the nature of the game. We'll get to work on railing Woodbury. Okay. Grant's here, Hooker's here. I think Hooker is just the Army HQ, but every little bit will help. And where do they arrive? So they're arriving down here. So there's a minor kind of trail here. More major trail here, and it looks like they'll end up over here. So it's almost 1 p.m. Yeah, I think we'll hold as we are for now. Those reinforcements should help solidify this left so that even well, yeah, it should help solidify that left, and we'll just play it from here from there. Try to move our division command back so that they're not getting sniped. We are at 2x, so. Alright, it looks like the CSA is in marching column, so they're ready to come on up and get some. Reload on the move. I would say get into that wall. That's probably the most important thing. I'm not sure if this battery is going to make it through before some of this stuff ends. Can always hope. Alright, so this cav over here, they're probably going to love these orders, but maybe send them back and around since it seems like our left should gradually get stronger. Okay. So, for now, why don't we give that movement order to Grant? And that should be good enough for now. All right, already made it through without a major catastrophe. That's good. Move it up to 5x to see if we can get some action here for you. I'm worried this battle's not going to get played all the way through in one episode. It's not the end of the world. It's fine, but we've done that with a lot of these recently because the scale of the battles has just been so large. Bring Miles's battery over here. No. Just move the safer way. We'll move it behind the lines. So it looks like they're pushing the arty out front and just opting for that. Alright, we're going to push Neil's cavalry behind. I'm pretty sure Grant probably has a brigade. Yeah, it would be. So Hyde got promoted when Sherman got wounded. And Hawkins is still like a. Yeah, it's still a fairly sizable cavalry brigade. I think we're going to move that up to threaten the unfinished railroad here on the CSA right. I mean, what do I know about this game? But I think the CSA needs to attack now or maybe get out. Alright, we'll plant our cav right there. Slocum, I cannot say I understand what you're doing. Or most of these divisions for that matter. Okay, we'll order Richardson to stop since we don't really need him all the way over here. But Miller does need to move his division up. Alright, so Richardson's division has stopped. And we'll order them right here. Yeah, Burnside doesn't need to go all the way over there. I don't think. So we'll order him right there. Hyde, right, that's cavalry, that's fine, that makes sense. Howard, we actually will order up to the crossroads. And Grant, First Corps Command, that's fine. Davies. Yeah, I don't love the exact movements, but the general idea is probably sound. Yeah, I don't understand the AI giving up these entrenchments here. I mean, it's not like we had the screen order, right? That I would understand, but the defend order is pretty clear. We gotta stay here. Okay, we'll move the 3rd Division up, and we'll look to get on that artillery. Again, all this is going through at 5x, so Neil's back here. Yeah, I don't need to get too close. Doesn't interest me. We just need them to be an anvil in case the CSA tries to move. Maybe if we move up here, so we move to these crossroads, I think we can get in this 3-way. I think we can get in the forest, and I think we can cut off the CSA's ability to move with that penalty along those roads. And that'd be great. That would be something. Okay. Upton can screen, that's fine. Let's move to detach the artillery here so we can give general movements we don't need to worry about to the infantry. I got a fair amount of them. Heinzelman, I'm not sure what you're up to, man. Okay, Howard's moving over there. That is right. And again, we still got to kind of play for time. I mean, we are getting the victory points, so that helps. We are getting more forces in place. That also helps. It's just a little frustrating because I'm trying to roll things over to the attack here. Yeah, and I'm just really surprised that on defensive, they're falling back from artillery. Who is it now? Palmer? Yikes. I do see 2 brigades coming up here, but that looks like artillery as well. We'll see. We might be getting close to nighttime here. Alright, we have 2 divisions from Grant ready to go. So, Hooker can order an attack, and Palmer can order an attack. Palmer, Lieutenant Colonel, in his battalion. Huh. It's an odd way of describing it, right? What is this? Alright, so that's a different Palmer. It's a CSA Palmer's detachment of vedettes, and they seem to be running around a little pell-mell, and it's not going well for them. Reynolds' brigade, though, is moving up, and this is all happening at the same time we're switching over our orders to the attack. Probably not the greatest for Neil, but oh well. He's drawing off 3 brigades, so I will continue my strong tradition of getting my cavalry killed when I shouldn't. But that's the nature of just how I play. Alright, let's watch the action here in the waning moments. Oh, and I guess Sturgis is going to fall back. Wilson's going to break after taking 10% casualties. Reed's battery is beat up as anything. That's probably all counter battery. Alright, we are at the 52-minute mark. This battle is not about to end. We did lose the orange plank road, so it is now 13 points on their side to 20 on ours. So we still got the majority. And I believe with reinforcements, time is still on our side. And you know what? Maybe we just keep telling Upton to we switch them back rather than engage. I thought it was 1 or 2 brigades we had a chance. 4 brigades, we don't really win a chance of winning that firefight, but I think we have chances elsewhere. So we'll do that. And oh, so Slocum hasn't rolled over to the attack. I guess. Oh, and Palmer wants to assault, so it's not even. Not taking half measures. We're going to switch the rest of these to attack. Okay, you're already ready to go. You're ready to go. All right, I think it's going to do it for this episode. We're going to have to wait and see how this concludes in the next one. But so far, we're hanging tight. We're up, and hopefully we can get up even more in the next episode. But we're running into some morale issues here, but hopefully when we have a chance to reset overnight, some of those morale issues will dissipate and we'll rally and get the W in this one, and then we'll be that much closer to the end of this campaign.